Hi, this is Rika. Welcome to this class. This class is going to be all about the unique, beautiful flower that you are. We are going to move through some hip openers, some bending and stretching and balancing out our spine. And for that, we will start with a restorative hip opening asanas. So I invite you to get into into prone pose, onto your tummies. If you have a bolster or a pillow or anything that has a lot of cushioning, please feel to grab this now. Also, if you have a block or two, that will help us as well. And then we will place the block underneath our pillow or our cushioned whatever thing you have. Or if you have a bolster, of course, place the bolster on top of your block and then come to lay onto your tummy on top of this beautiful thing we just built. Our legs are going to be spread towards the sides, so our knees are going to be outside of our mat. Our ankles are right underneath our knees and our feet are flexed. So kind of like a frog when laying on their tummy. You can place your head on top of the bolster and then just feel into this posture. Take one deep breath through your nose. Exhale, maybe sigh it out. Again, inhale through the nose. Exhale through the nose. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the nose. If you want to close your eyes, you can close your eyes for just a moment to find yourself in your body. Find this restorative hip opening posture. Maybe it twingles, twitches, or you have a little bit of tension anywhere in your hip muscles. And just try to breathe into it. And with your exhale, release. Again, inhale into your hips. Exhale, release. Wherever you have your arms, maybe you want to stretch them to the sides just a little bit, or bring them down to your thighs. Give yourself a little massage with your hands here to support the relaxation, releasing of the hip muscles, of the thighs. Find stillness again. Really bring your focus on the mat. And let go of any thoughts that come up in your mind while you're just laying and breathing. With your next inhale, bring your hands kind of underneath your shoulders, bring your big toes together, and then shift your weight towards your heels, so you're kind of sitting onto your heels. Bring your knees towards each other together, and then remove your block and come a little bit closer to the front of your mat. You can remove your block if you had one, and then we'll do one more restorative pose, so you can place your bolster either long ways or on the short side right behind you, and then sit in between your heels. Your knees are still touching, and then we come into Supta Virasana. You can either lay with your neck on top of your bolster, or if you had it the long side, then just with the whole body, upper body on top of the bolster. You're still sitting on the mat. You can take your hands on top of your tummy or onto your heels or wherever they feel comfortable. Maybe you want to just have them palms up on your sides. And then really take some deep breaths into your belly here. And really feel the opposite stretch here. Now we're rather closing the hips than opening them. And take one more deep breath here. With your next inhale, place your elbows underneath your shoulders and then slowly come up onto your hands. Remove your bolster or pillow or whatever you had underneath your neck or underneath your back. And then I will remove it completely, and then come onto your buttocks. So with your legs straight to the front, into Dandasana, staff pose, and with your next inhale, reach your arms up. Stay here, keep your shoulders rolled back. Your rib cage is still tucked in, core is engaged. Take a few deep breaths here. Really feel the alignment. And with your next exhale, slowly fold over your thighs. So bring your hands to the outside of your feet or wherever they land on the mat. Keep your head in the extension of your spine, so we're not releasing our head at this moment, at this point in time. And then really take some deep breaths here in Paschimottanasana. Really make sure that your thighs are still engaged, so your kneecaps are lifted. Your gaze is between your shins or between your knees, wherever you are today. And with your next inhale, come all the way back up. Extend your arms towards the sky. And then exhale, release your arms to your sides. Bend your right knee towards your chest. And then rotate your knee towards the side so that your leg is lying on the mat or on the floor. Your right foot is on your left thigh. Shavasana, and then inhale, reach your arms up. And exhale, again, forward fold. Try to keep your head in the extension of the spine. So again, no releasing here. You can either place your hands wherever they land, or again, grab your foot and then really breathe into this hamstring stretch. Maybe you feel a little stretching in your back as well. With your next inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, release your arms to the sides, bring your knee back to center, and then step your right foot on the outside of your left thigh. So you're crossing over. Then take your left arm around your right knee and twist open so that your right arm goes towards the back of your mat. You're twisting open towards the right side of the mat, so you're looking towards the side. Or if you want and your neck, it feels good for your neck, then you can also look towards the right hand. And take some deep breaths here. Try to really breathe all the way into your belly. And with your next exhale, come towards the center. Bring your right foot back on the right side. And again, bring your knee towards the surface. And then open your hips to the side. So your knee is actually in 45-degree angle. And then inhale, reach your arms up. And exhale, bring your left arm towards your left foot or wherever it lands, again on the outside of your left leg. And your right arm comes above your head. So you're doing a side bend here. Maybe you can even grab your left foot with your right hand, but that's totally optional. So you can stay wherever you are. Make sure that your buttocks is still on the mat so it's not lifting up. And then you can either look up or towards the side. And take some deep breaths again. One more breath here. And with your next inhale, come all the way back into center, reach your arms up. Exhale, hands come to the back of your mat. So you're rotating towards the back of your mat. Lift your knee off the ground. Step into high lunge. And then bring your left leg towards the front. So you're in Uttanasana, forward fold. Maybe you want to bend your knees for this first forward bend. Maybe you want to grab the opposite elbows with your hands and ragdoll maybe from side to side a little bit. And then release and slowly roll yourself all the way up into Tadasana, mountain pose. Take your time, vertebra by vertebra, your head comes last. Roll your shoulders back. Check that you are hip distance apart with your feet. Your core is engaged, your pelvis is in neutral. Take a breath here. And then slowly bring some weight into your left leg. And then try to lift your right leg off the mat, bending your knee, and then bring your right ankle on top of your left thigh, right above your knee into figure 4, and then sit down into chair pose. Inhale, reach your arms up towards the sky, or if you want to keep them in heart center, you can keep them in heart center as well. And then just breathe here. For your next inhale, reach your arms up, come back into standing, release your right leg, and then place it into tree pose, either on your shin or on your thigh. And again, bring your hands to heart center, or if you want, you can reach your arms up again into a tall standing tree, or maybe you want to imagine that beautiful flower that you are rooting into the soil beneath you. Maybe your branches or your leaves are in the wind, wiggling from side to side. And then exhale, bring your hands to heart center, release your right leg and step it all the way to the back of your mat into high lunge. One breath here. And with your next exhale, bring your left hand next to your left foot. Rotate your back foot parallel to the short side of the mat. And then inhale, reach your right arm all the way towards the sky. So you're opening up here into extended side angle pose. Maybe you want to place a block underneath your left hand here, if that's more comfortable. And then just breathe into your belly, really pressing the left knee into the left upper arm. One more breath here. And then with your next exhale, come back into center. Release your back knee onto the mat, into low lunge Anjaneyasana. And inhale, reach your arms up towards the sky again. Make sure that both legs are engaged, so you're engaging your thigh, rotating them inward. And don't forget to breathe. Inhale, make yourself long. Extend your left leg. Flex your feet or your foot, your front foot. And then exhale. Bend yourself over your left thigh into half split, Adha Hanumanasana. Maybe you want to take your fingertips towards the back of your mat. So walking your hands a little bit towards your left foot or over your left foot. Now with your next inhale, scoop forward, back into low lunge, tuck your toes under, step into Uttanasana, forward fold, and then slowly sit back down into Dandasana, staff pose. So extending your legs towards the back of your mat this time. Make sure you're sitting on your buttocks. And then inhale, reach your arms up. Make sure your shoulders are rolled back. Inhale, extend, and exhale, Paschimottanasana, fold over your thighs. Again, keeping your head in the extension of your spine. And with your next inhale, come all the way back into Dandasana. Exhale, place your hands next to your body, bend your left knee this time, and place the sole of the foot to the outside of your right thigh. Your knee comes towards the floor, and then inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, bend over your right thigh this time. Again, your hands can land wherever. Make sure that your back is straight as possible. And don't release your head at this point. And with your next inhale, come back up with your arms extended towards the sky, and exhale, release to your sides. Bring your left knee towards the center of your body again, and then step your left foot to the outside of your right thigh. This time taking your right arm around your left knee and extend your left arm towards the front of the mat. Your body opens towards the right. Really take some deep belly breaths again. With every inhale, lengthen your spine. And with every exhale, maybe you can twist a little bit more. And with your next exhale, come back to center. Bring your left foot back to the inside of the right thigh, and then rotate your hips open so that your left knee is pointing in 45-degree angle. And inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, bend towards your right foot, right leg, and then bring your left arm above your head. Maybe you want to look up or you want to look towards the right side. Whatever feels good right now. And really breathe into this deep side bending stretch. Make sure that your left buttocks is on the mat, or both buttocks is on the mat. But especially the right one tends to lift up here. And then inhale, come back into center. Bring your hands to the front of your mat, underneath your shoulders, and then step all the way towards the front of your mat. Again, into Uttanasana. Maybe this time you want to grab your ankles and just enjoy the stillness in this pose. And then slowly, vertebra by vertebra, come all the way back up into standing, into Tadasana, mountain pose. Your head comes last. Roll your shoulders back. Stand hip distant apart with your feet. And then bring some weight into your right leg. Slowly lift your left leg up. Bend your knee and place the left ankle on top of your right thigh, right above your knee. And then inhale, reach your arms up and sit all the way back into chair pose. You can keep your arms up or bring them into heart center, whatever feels good right now. Try to find that non-moving point, a drishti in front of you to help you balance here. And with your next inhale, come all the way back into standing, and then place your left leg to your right shin or to your right thigh into tree pose. And again, if you want, you can reach your arms up or into heart center, whatever feels good right now, whatever is comfortable and more balancing. With your next exhale, bring your hands into heart center if you haven't already, and then release your left foot and step all the way back into high lunge. Again, take one deep breath here. And then with your next exhale, bring your right hand next to your left foot and extend your left arm all the way towards the sky. Again, if you want, you can take a block underneath your right arm and then really twist into this side angle pose. Don't forget your back foot. It's also rotated into 90 degrees, so parallel to the back side of your mat. One more inhale here, and then exhale, come back into center. Bring your hands onto the mat and slowly release your back knee onto the mat and tuck your toes into low lunge, Anjaneyasana. Inhale, reach your arms up. With your next inhale, reach your arms even further up. Extend your front leg, flex your front foot, and then exhale, bend over your left thigh, right thigh, walking your fingertips towards the front of your mat. Again, your head is the extension of the spine. Adha Hanumanasana, have split pose. Don't forget to breathe. With your next inhale, come back into low lunge and tuck your toes under. Step into Uttanasana and then slowly bring your buttocks back onto the mat into step pose. So extending your legs towards the front, flex your feet. Inhale, reach your arms up, and then exhale, bend towards the front. Again, not releasing your head at this point. Just enjoy the hamstring stretch here. And then inhale, reach your arms back up. Exhale, hands to your sides. Now we're opening up our legs. So extend your legs towards the sides. And then if you want, you can grab your blocks again. And then place them 40 centimeters in front of you. And then you can place your elbows on top of them, keeping your back straight. If you want, you can also remove a block However far you get, maybe you want to even just do it with your own body weight, with your hands, fingertips walking towards the front of the mat. One more breath here. And with your next inhale, walk yourself back into center. Reach your arms up. And then exhale towards the right side. Your left arm comes above your head. You can either look towards the front of your mat or towards your upper arm. Now with your next inhale, come back to center. Exhale towards the other side, towards the left leg. Maybe again you can grab your left foot with your right hand, but make sure that your buttock stays on the mat. So only go as far as possible. Inhale, come back into center. Inhale your arms up. Place your hands underneath your thighs and then bend your knees. Bring them into center. We are grabbing big toes with our peace fingers. And then brings your balance onto your sit bones. And extend your legs towards the sides. Try to find the balance here. Maybe you want to bend your knees if this is not available for you. Maybe you want to grab the outside of your feet. Whatever feels good right now. This is a really advanced but fun way to just play a little bit. And then with your next inhale, bring the soles of your feet together. And then grab underneath your shins and grab the top of your feet. Again, maybe this is not available for you, then come maybe on the mat and try to lift up. Just do some little drills here, whatever is available right now. And then breathe into wherever you are. Try to keep a straight back. And with your next inhale, again, grab your big toes with your peace fingers and then extend your legs towards the sky. So like you would do bow pose, but this time grabbing your peace fingers. It's also called big toe pose. Take one more breath here. And then with your next exhale, slowly bend your knees. Place your feet mat width apart and then lift yourself into Malasana, Yogi Squat. Maybe you want your hands to support you, lifting you up. Then bring your hands to heart center. Your elbows are pushing your knees to the outside. Take one deep breath here. And then exhale, Uttanasana, forward fold. One breath here. And with your exhale, step with your right leg all the way to the back of your mat. Bring your knee to the mat, into low lunge. And then inhale, reach your arms up. Maybe you want to do a little back bend here, maybe grabbing the outside of your right shin or placing your hand to the outside of your right shin and then really releasing your back towards the back of your mat, extending your left arm towards the back. One more breath here. Then inhale, come back into center. Extend your left thigh, so you're folding again over your left thigh. This time take your right hand next to your left foot, so also on the outside of your left foot, or maybe a little bit closer to your shin, whatever is comfortable and available right now. And then extend your left arm all the way towards the sky or towards the back. Really twisting here in this fun variation. One more breath here. And then exhale, come back into center, all the way into Anjaneyasana. Tuck your toes under. Step towards the front of your mat and sit back into Malasana. Have one breath here. Then with your next inhale, lift your pelvis towards the sky into Uttanasana. And then exhale, step towards the back of the mat with your left foot. Bring your left knee onto the mat into Anjaneyasana on this side. Inhale, reach your arms up. Maybe again you want to do a slight back bend, placing your left hand next to your left thigh. And then extending your right arm above your head all the way to the back of your mat. Do whatever variation feels good right now. And then with your next inhale, come all the way back into center. And extend your right leg, fold over your right thigh with your upper body. Take one breath here. And then with your next inhale, bring your left hand on the outside of your right leg, and then extend your right arm all the way towards the back. Maybe you want to look towards your right hand, or you want to look to the side, twisting open with your upper body. One more breath here. And then with your next exhale, slowly rotate back into center, all the way into low lunge. Tuck your toes under and step to the front of your mat into Malasana. Take one breath here. And then with your next inhale, bring your pelvis up. Stay mat width apart with your feet here. So this time a little bit wider, Uttanasana, forward fold. And then we will step into Bird of Paradise. So we will do first a little preparation pose, bend your knees. And then bring your right arm underneath your right thigh and rotate it on top of your right hip. Your left arm goes into your right hand, and then bring some weight into the left foot. Try to lift the right foot off the mat and slowly come up into standing. Keep your right leg bent at this point. Just find a drishti, a non-moving point, to balance out. One more breath here. And then with your next exhale, slowly release back down onto the mat. Release your arms. And then come onto the other side. Your left arm reaches through your thighs, and then place your right hand into your left hand and slowly bring some weight into your right foot while lifting your left foot off the mat all the way into standing. Try to find a drishti in front of you. One more breath here. And then exhale, slowly come back onto the mat. Maybe you want to release your arms, shake your arms out, shake your upper body out a little bit. And then we will do this one more time. This time come into full bird of paradise. So full Svagadvishasana. When you're ready, again bend your knees and then bring your right arm through your through your thighs, placing your left hand into your right hand, and then slowly bring some weight into your left foot, lifting up your body all the way into standing. And this time, if you want, extend your right leg and take a few breaths here, really opening your chest. Inhale here. Exhale, slowly lower back onto the mat. Again, shake out your arms if you want, and then find back stillness. Reach your left arm through your thighs. Place your right hand into your left hand, and then come onto your right foot. And slowly, slowly stand up. All the way into standing. Lifting your chest, and then maybe extending your left leg. Don't forget to breathe. One more inhale, come a little bit taller. Exhale, release. All the way back onto the mat. Release your arms, shake them out, and then step back into high plank. Lower your knees immediately into Balasana. Sit your hips all the way back onto your heels. Take a deep breath here. And with your next inhale, come all the way onto your tummy. Bring your forearms onto the mat in front of you, so your elbows are underneath your shoulders. Into Sphinx pose. If you want, you can bend your right knee into half frog pose. So flex your right foot and bring your ankle underneath your knee in the same line. And take a few breaths here. And with your next exhale, bring your legs back into center, parallel to each other, and then fold your right arm above your left arm, and your left arm comes to the other side, so you have straight arms crisscrossing. So this is stretching our shoulders. Try to look down, so releasing your neck a little bit here. And then with your next inhale, come back into center, press yourself all the way into Balasana again. Take 1 or 2 breaths here. And when you're ready with your next inhale, come all the way onto your belly again. Your forearms are straight towards the front on the mat, your elbows underneath your shoulders. And then this time come into frog leg one-sided on the left side if you did it on the other side. And then just take a few breaths here. With your next inhale, exhale, come back into center. Bring your left arm above your right hand and then stretch your right arm to the other side. Again, crisscrossing each other, stretching the shoulder blades, looking down, releasing your head a little bit. And with your next inhale, bring your hands underneath your shoulders and then come all the way back into Balasana. Just for 1 more breath here. Now with your next inhale, lift yourself up into seated and then bring your feet all the way towards the front of your mat. So we're sitting back into Dandasana. Sit a little bit closer to the front so we're actually seated in the middle. And then bend your knees and we are slowly lowering ourselves into supine pose. So you can either place your hands underneath your knees or straight towards the front and then slowly lower yourself onto the mat. Slow as you can, vertebra by vertebra. Slow, slow, slow. We're still not there. Engage your core a little bit. And then come all the way onto your back. Bring your heels closer to your buttocks so you can actually touch your heels with your fingers. We will lift up for bridge pose 1 time or 2 times actually, but first place your palms onto the mat, straight next to your body. And then with your inhale, lift your hips up, come onto your shoulders. Make sure that you can place a tennis ball between your chest and your chin, so you're really pressing the back side of your eyes into the mat. Take some deep breaths here. Try to keep your legs parallel to each other. Inhale, lift a little bit more. Exhale, slowly lower down back onto the mat. Again, check your heels. Maybe you want to bring your heels a little bit closer and then grab your ankles if possible. If not, do it the other way again. If you can grab the ankles, grab the ankles. And then with your next inhale, lift up all the way your hips. And then come onto your shoulder blades or onto your shoulders. This time bending a little bit more. Maybe pressing into your hands, into your ankles. Like pulling and pushing from each side. Really lifting your hips up. And don't forget to Have a little bit of space between your chest and your chin. Inhale, lift a little bit higher. Exhale, slowly lower all the way back down onto the mat. Take one breath here in this neutral position. And with your next inhale, straighten your right leg all the way towards the sky. And then bend your knee. Bring your ankle onto the left thigh. Again, into figure 4. With your next inhale, bring your knee towards your chest. Maybe you want to interlace your fingers around your shin. Flex both feet. And then take some deep breaths here with every inhale. Lengthen your spine, expand your chest. With every exhale, bring your knee a little bit closer to your chest. One more breath here. And then with your next exhale, release your leg back onto the mat. Keep your right leg on top of your left thigh. And then rotate your hips towards the left side so that your right foot is actually touching the floor underneath you. Extend your arms towards the sides or make cactus arms, whatever feels good. And then either look up or towards the right. Make sure your right shoulder blade is on the mat. And then take some deep belly breaths here. Really feel all the touching points on the mat, on the surface. Like your body is really rooting into the soil, into the surface beneath you. And with your next inhale, come all the way back into center. Release your right leg. And then extend your left leg all the way towards the sky. Place it into figure 4 on top of your right thigh. And then inhale, bring your knee to your chest, interlace your fingers around your right shin. And with every inhale, expand your upper body. And with every exhale, bring your knee closer to your chest. With your next exhale, release your right leg onto the floor and then rotate towards the right side. So this time putting your left foot onto the mat or onto the surface to the right side. Extend your arms to the sides or into cactus arms and then look up or to the left side, keeping your left shoulder blade on the mat. Breathing into the belly. Feeling your body weight getting heavier. Rooting down into every touching point that you have with the surface beneath you. With your next inhale, come back into center. Release your leg, left leg onto the mat, and then bring your feet mat width apart. Let your knees fall in. Just stay here for a little while after all the hip opening. Might feel good to just close the hips for a while. Feel your belly expanding with every breath. Again, feel your body getting heavier and heavier with every breath you take. And when you feel ready, you can extend your legs all the way into Shavasana. Release your arms to your sides. Let your feet fall outside. Your palms are facing towards the sky. Feel your body getting heavier with every breath. Release any tension that you have in your muscles. Maybe breathing into the tension. And exhale, release. Release the space between your eyebrows. Release your jaw, your tongue. Release your head and your neck, your shoulder blades. Feel the heaviness of your arms really rooting into the mat underneath you. Feel the heaviness of your upper body, of your upper back, your middle back, your lower back. Everything is rooting into the mat. Your thighs are really heavy. Your shins, your calves are pressing into the mat. Your feet are falling towards the outside. Slowly come back to noticing your breath. How your breath moves your belly, expanding it towards the sky. Maybe you want to move your fingers or your toes. Maybe you want to rotate your hands or your feet. Maybe you want to extend your arms all the way above your head. Stretch yourself out. And slowly come all the way onto the side, onto your favorite side. Just take one deep breath, just lying there. And when you feel ready, come all the way into seated position. Place your hands onto your knees. Take one more deep breath here. Bring your hands to your heart center. Thank yourself for taking the time to practice today. Bring your hands to your third eye. I want to thank you for letting me guide you through this practice. Namaste.